Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing. It's myself and Paul today, and we are reacting to the seeming news. Well, it's coming from the horse's mouth itself. Viddal Riley has announced he is a free agent, the second high-profile boxer, if true, to part ways with Ben Shalom's boxer following Josh Shibuatsu's link-up with Frank Sworn Queensbury a couple of weeks ago. Paul, good to have you on. It was me and you that reacted to the Josh Shibuatsu news as well, and we sort of hinted that this could be the opening of the floodgates, that Josh Shibuatsu was the first but wouldn't be the last, as I say, high-profile fighter to part ways with Ben Shalom, and so it seems to have proved with Viddal Riley, British Cruiserweight champion, announcing that he is open to talk, open for business with other promoters. I'm going to guess you're not too surprised by this.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate. Yeah, not a real shock, really, is it? I think, as you said, after the Joshua Buatsi one, he's kind of the first. We maybe thought it would have snowballed from there, and probably will continue to do so. I think, obviously, Boxer have that new deal with the BBC, and time will tell what that entails and what that looks like. But as you said, and I think a lot of these fighters were really, I don't really want to criticize, but we're maybe only with Boxer because of the Sky Sports platform. But now that Sky Sports platform has gone, they'll maybe be looking for ventures new. So Viddal Riley next up, as you said, from Joshua Buatsi. You wonder, will the likes of Adam Azim, Ben Whitaker, Fritz Smith, I don't know, a couple of others, will they follow suit, or will they stick it out and maybe feature on the with Boxer and the BBC? It remains to be seen, I suppose. But yeah, as you said, mate, no real surprise. Viddal Riley, I think, is kind of gone from strength to strength of late. I think he's proved that he's a very talented fighter. Comprehensively outboxed Chef Clark last time out on the Eubank Ben undercard. So yeah, I think probably maybe a positive move for Viddal Riley, and I feel like everyone will want to kind of a piece of him now if he is a free agent.
Yeah, 100%. We'll come on to what the future may hold for Vidal in just a second, but I want to bring up something that was posted online by Everything Boxing. It was just in relation to these rumours that there's clauses in the contracts of some of Boxer's bigger name fighters that if Boxer are no longer broadcast on Sky Sports, that their contracts are essentially null and void and they're free to work with other promoters. And that's alluded to by the fact that Viddal Riley signed a long-term, in quotation marks, deal with Boxer, keywords here being, and with Sky Sports only in February 2024. So with this emergence that he's now gone into free agency, it would lead you to believe that those rumours are probably true. And with that in mind, it almost seems inevitable, I think, that the likes of, as you say, Ben Whitaker, Adam Azim, Lauren Price, you mentioned Chris Smith as well, that they will be certainly open to chatting to other promoters. I'm sure Ben Shalom will do his best to sell them the dream with BBC and the eyeballs that'll bring. But, rumours are that it's a fairly low budget, certainly to begin with, as you would imagine with terrestrial television. So, yeah, time will tell who, if and when follows suit from Viddal Riley and Josh Shibuatsu. We'll wrap up by talking about Viddal Riley, as you quite rightly say, really hitting the stripes as a pro with a very one-sided win over Chef Clark for that British title. He's a very big name. He's managed to capitalise very well on the fame that he accumulated when he was training KSI. Seems to do big numbers in his own social platforms and certainly has the skills to back it up. Given the stables of, we can factor in world promoters in this. I guess anything is a possibility. Is there a direction you would like to see Viddal Riley go, and fights you'd like to see him in now that he's gone into this free agency?
Yeah, well, I think, without stating the glaringly obvious, like you'd imagine that both Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are going to be, surely looking at trying to secure his signature. I think that seems to be the obvious move, and it seems to be like the two biggest promoters on British shores. Viddal Riley, as you correctly said, big name, big following, big in the social media age as well, thanks to that brief spell as KSI's trainer, as you mentioned as well. So yeah, I think he's a big name. Hearn will want them, we know that. Warren and Queensbury will want them. It's just a matter of maybe who can offer him the best deal. In terms of fights, I think there are a good few, even just domestically, that you can look at. Obviously, with that depends whether he wants to, maybe make a couple of defenses of that British title, or just kind of keep going for the bigger names that'll move him towards the world level. I don't know this for a fact, but just I would hazard a guess that he's maybe not too fussed on winning the British title outright. Probably will just want the bigger fights for the biggest money, and that will propel him up to the world level. So in terms of that, you've maybe got, I don't know, you look at the British scene. I think, has the Isaac Chamberlain one passed? If he's fighting on Isaac Chamberlain like that, I think that fight might have passed now. I think Viddal Riley has, unfortunately, as an Isaac Chamberlain fan, has surpassed Isaac Chamberlain now. You look at the Jack Massey fight, obviously coming off the back of the defeat Jaya Bataille. Do you look at the Billum Smith fight, or is that, will CBS look at that and think, I don't need to take that now? Like, he's waiting for another world title shot potentially. Another one that I kind of was looking at rankings and stuff. That I thought would be a good fight for Riddell Riley is the Mike Perez one, who we saw knock out Stephen Ward on a Queensbury card recently. Obviously not domestic; he's a Cuban fighter, but nearly 40 years of age and still holds some good rankings, I think. That's a winnable fight for Viddal Riley. So yeah, plenty of options, and I suppose it does depend on who he signs with.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be overly surprised if Bill Smith and Viddal Riley are picked up by the same promoter and that fight maybe happens. I know they fought each other in the amateurs. There's a bit of history there. And as well, I saw something the other day. I should have got this up before this video, but a final eliminator was looking like it was going to be ordered in one of the governing bodies at cruiserweight. I think it might have been the WBO. Don't quote me on that. But Bill Smith was in the top two and would have been ordered for that. So you could see the stage where if that title was to become vacant, that it could be Bill Smith versus Viddal Riley potentially for a world title, and then if Viddal Riley was to win that, which I think whoever promoter was staging that would probably want him to. Bill Smith coming towards the end of Viddal Riley, younger, fresher fighter, then you've got a star on your hands. There has been some speculation online he could maybe go to MVP, who've got a good relationship with Zerdo Ramirez. I know he's not signed to them, but he's fought in a show recently, and there seems to be some good harmony between Golden Boy and MVP. If they're not keen on fighting Jai Opataya, they'll probably view Viddal Riley as a winnable fight. You've got the Jake Paul factor in there, long-time rival, of course, of KSI. So a lot of variables at play. Very early days. We await news of where Viddal Riley is going to end up. Seems like it won't be boxer, and probably not the last fighter we're going to say that about. But Paul, that's all we have time for today, I should say. Thanks very much for hopping on. Chat to you soon. And folks, thanks for watching.
Thanks, mate, and thanks, guys, for watching.